That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dave Mo Flips. Wednesday morning. I woke up late this morning, and actually I did not wake up late. I was up, but I thought for some reason this sale started at 9:30 instead of 8:30. So, just to go over it with you guys, we are the high bidder on something, but let's go over the cars that I can remember that we looked at. I can't get off this screen because once we get off this screen, we lose the information. So, remember this? Do you remember the 2014 Challenger? It sold for $5,600. It needed the engine and a lot of body work. Okay, so don't worry about what's up here on the left-hand side. Don't worry about this. We're only working on this right-hand side. And when I scroll through, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can even make this bigger for you. I don't think it's gonna let me. No, it won't. It won't allow me to. So I was trying to make it larger so you guys can see it. But so down here, that's going to be what it sold. You're going to see sold if, and it'll say if your. So if your means that, that I got it. So, or someone, there we go. All right. Let me see here. I'll just move this over for you guys a little bit better. Let me see if I can do one more time. All right. So now hopefully you'll be able to see these numbers and stuff a little bit better. So we spent some time yesterday in this 2014 Challenger. 120,000 miles. The MMR was 8525. Adjusted MMR means that it's taking into account the condition report. The condition report is up here at 1.1, and it sold for $5,600. Do I think that was a buy? This is the one with the bullet hole, if you guys remember. I think that was decent. I think it was a decent price by the time you put in the transmission and the work to it. I think you got yourself, you're probably into it for somewhere in the neighborhood of, like, let's just say 885. You're at MMR. You're at the adjusted MMR, so you could run it back through the auction. Even though we didn't look at the Kia Soul 3800, and I'm not going to announce them all. This Malibu, I wish I spent more time looking at it for $1,300. I feel like that was a good buy, depending on what was wrong with it. So remember this Dart? We looked at the Dart. So it's on an if sale, which means the seller can either come back and negotiate or just decline it altogether. Now, if you're the buyer, if you accept it, and you have no choice but to accept it because you're not there in person. When you're doing online with Manheim, you have to accept the if bids. So $2,500, if they say yes, they own that car. If they try to negotiate, then you can get out of it. I think this is still a good deal. Yes, it's over MMR, but MMR, again, is just what they think. A lot goes into that, and I don't hold that as... I don't put much weight with it, okay? It's nice to beat it, but it is what it is. A 2013 Dart with 147. You guys tell me what you think it is. I'm thinking $7-8 grand. On the low end, maybe $5. Transmission, I think we seen was like $250, but I think it's probably just going to be a clutch. But anyway, again, all right. This Infiniti here, number 97601. 64,000 miles. It needed the motor, if I'm not mistaken. It's on an if bid for $9,400. I think that's going to be the higher end of what that car is going to bring at auction, needing a motor. But I can't say for sure. And just to let you guys know, for myself personally, when I'm looking at these cars to put motors and transmissions in, I'm kind of looking to spend $6,000 or more for just the vehicle, because to me that's the honey spot. There's enough money at $6 grand for the car, buying the transmission, buying the motor, the labor, etc., etc. There's still enough money left over at that price point. As you get lower, like the Journey that we had bought, yes, there's still $2,000 in it, but you're cutting it really close. Again, you know, if you guys are BMW guys, you know, $7,600, 4 Series. And I'm trying to go slow for you guys. And again, I would love to be able to do this with you guys. So this way you could say, oh, yo, let me check this one out. You know, yesterday we would have been doing it together. Now today it would be more fun because I would know what I'm looking at for you. You know, that Mercedes right here, a 2014 C250. I don't know. I didn't do any work on it, but on an if for 33. My homeboy Joe's pissed because he wanted to buy this car. And it's on an if for 700. And again, so excuse me. So here's the other part of it. The other part is eBay, right? Like I told you, we're doing eBay now. So if we bought this car for 700, we would put it on eBay at 500, no reserve, announce what's wrong with it, and just let it run, and someone else could get a good deal. And again, if you're picking up a car from A and doing nothing to it other than cleaning it up, detailing it, and selling it, and making a $500 profit, the money is really low. When you're doing sales like that, you're kind of a wholesaler, but not really because you're selling it retail, just really cheap. You want to sell 10 of them. Or I want to sell 10 of them a week. You know, if you're doing that little bit of work and you're getting them for, let's say, $1,000. If I could buy 10 of them at $1,000, it's 10 grand. If I could make, let's just say 300 on the low end, but 500, you know, is what I'm targeting. That's 5,000 a week. If I could do that, you know, 40 of them a month, you're looking at 20 grand. You know, so again, there's different niches to this shit. You know, if that's the seller you're going to be, then you're a volume guy and you need to buy more cars. And don't get me wrong, even just to make $5,000 for the month, right? So if you only sold 10 for the month and you were getting 500 a pop in your pocket and you're making 5 grand, you're still making 60,000 a year. You're still above, you know, 60 grand a year is good money. There's a word that I'm looking for, but whatever. 60 grand is not bad. And you're not doing much. So you could still do this and have a job on this, like me, if you wanted to, that way. This Nissan, I think it needed a motor when we looked at it, 3,200. But remember, I was making jokes. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna put a. Damn, I didn't even look at this Camaro. So again, guys, here's what I'm doing as well. While I'm going through this with you guys, I'm also learning for myself. You know, so now I know. Wow, this Camaro, it was on an if. It went for $5,200. I know the MMR was 87. So now I'll do my homework on a Camaro. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe I was like, oh, you know, I can't afford it, or it's not in my. Damn, that Challenger is right. I didn't even see this thing yesterday. But any which way, moving right along. You know, this Jaguar, I don't see it. You know, unless you have someone that can fix the motors, and I do know a guy that can repair these engines, but you're still spending a shit ton of fucking money. But again, you know, if it's got a clean car history, a Carfax, and you can get that thing off and get financing for it, who knows what you could do, you know? So, at any rate, I just had to buy an emblem for that Mercedes. I bought a whole grill, and I didn't realize that it didn't come with the emblem. Jeep Renegade, but it looks hit. A lot of these cars we did not look at, guys, but I just want to give you a taste of what goes on. And doing this isn't for everybody. Keep this in mind. This is not for everybody. This is where I'm at right now. Before this, we looked at this car, remember? If it's 74. We looked at the Audi. This is where I'm at. You know, I don't know that if I bought 10 cars this week to put motors and transmissions in, I don't know that I have the manpower to have that done. But here's the key, okay? Get yourself 2 or 3 mechanics that can handle that type of workload. And once you're at, let's just say 20 cars on your lot, right? Now all you're doing is replacing what you're selling. So you have these 20 cars there, and let's just say you're selling 5 cars a week. All right, and I'm trying to be conservative. So every week now you're just buying 5 more cars that need motors and transmission, and you're divvying them up between your mechanics. Obviously, the ones that are moving faster, they'll do 2 or 3. The guys that are slower, they'll do 1. But again, you've reached a place at your dealership where all you got to do is maintain now. And if you want to grow bigger, you get more. There's nothing saying that you can't have a dealership that you have more mechanics at, or that you could use more mechanics. You could not use more mechanics, whatever. This Malibu, I thought we looked at this one, but I just don't remember. But $2,400. No, so we did look at this one. It was the LS, remember? And I had said, I like to stay with the LTZs, because when I'm looking at these types of cars, I want the Mac Daddy one. You know what I'm saying? I want the pimped out leather, the backup camera. That's what I want. So I remember looking at this one. But for $2,400, depending on what the engine or transmission was, I don't think that's a bad deal. It's also an if bid, so we might see it again next week. If you guys are enjoying these types of videos, let me know, because I'm going to do this anyway. So it's nothing for me to record it for you guys and put it out. Moving right along, that Lexus. Remember we looked at this LS? $6,400. You needed an engine, so we were in the engine for $1,000 if I'm not mistaken. And then it was like 13 hours or something like that to do the labor. Do I think that's a good deal? Hell yeah. I still think that's a good deal. Because I have to say, this is a $15,000 car. For some people, just love Lexuses. And the mileage is what's going to carry it, guys. Keep that in mind. Right now, you might have heard 15 grand. Like, this guy's fucking crazy. Keep in mind, it's the mileage. That low mileage for that car is going to carry it. You know what I mean? I'm going to do a quick little search here on my phone now to see what they're going for in my area. I'll let you know. Let's see here. So I'm looking at the first one that popped up. It's the same car with 172,000 miles. They want 10 grand for it. So they're not even they're not even able to fuck with me at all. Now this one can, and this is actually a little bit surprising. An '08 Lexus with 145 for $8,500. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a good deal. Kind of took the wind out of my sails here, because again, 40,000 miles. I don't know that's that much of a difference. So. But anyway, I gotta say that thing is still a $10,000 car. 40,000 miles does make a difference. But at any rate, yeah, I think that's a good deal. I do. I still think it's a $10,000 car. But moving right along. Now again, that $7,400 is probably better spent somewhere else. You are spending the money on that premium name being Lexus. You put that same money into a GMC, the profit margin's probably a lot more. Or a Chevy, the profit margin's probably a lot more. Or not probably, it is a lot more. I'm trying to go slow. I'm going to drink a little bit of Monster here. That we looked at this truck, 10 grand. Again, pickup trucks, Silverados, you're going to pay the money. Let's see. Do we look at this one? I don't know, but I can tell you this. Just looking at the MMR versus the if bid, I think I did look at that car. I was like, oh, man, that's sexy. I want to say that that's a great buy. I want to say it's a damn good buy. But again, it's 2021. This is a 2018. I don't understand why someone would come to me to buy that car and not go to Chevy and get one for more money than I'm offering it, but get it with a certified warranty. At least that's my train of thought. We don't really look at wrecked cars, so those are all wrecked, so we'll just skip by those. This thing was hit. This Altima, if you remember, they took pictures strategically avoiding that. All right, so look. Excuse me. This one is a no sale. Straight up and down, they said no. This car probably only brought like $500. I wish I would have looked at this Regal. Again, $3,200. And again, what I'm doing here, guys, I keep saying it, is I'm just doing my homework. I am just doing my homework. Again, I'm going slow for you guys. If you wanted to see something, at least this way you could see what it's sold for or the highest bid. We looked at this Lexus again, the IS. It's sold for $2,600. It's got 194,000 miles on it. Again, to me, that's not a good deal. Between the motor and the labor, it's just not a good deal. Now, if you're a mechanic, if you're a shop that has a mechanic and they could rebuild that, then you're golden. So, moving right along. We didn't even look at that Escalade, the 05. So, the Land Rover. Someone really needs my attention. Oh my God, I missed this one. The 2016 Lincoln, guys, this was my fucking sexy bitch. $6,600. I don't know where I was at with it. I'm thinking $6,000, $6,600. I would have definitely been hesitant on pulling the trigger, but so I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if I would have. It's easy for me to say yes or no. I would have bought it right now. But for those of you guys who know what it's like to sit behind the computer screen or be at the auction and just be ready to go, it's a different, you get caught up in the moment, things are going on, your adrenaline's pumping. So I might have been the high bidder, who knows? Or I might have put $6,700 on it, and the other guy could have put 68, or the other person could have put 68. So I don't know. But at $6,600, I'm a little bit heartbroken that I did not buy it. Truth be told, I'm probably going to try to buy one on the street now. So when this happens to me, right, I get very, like I said in my past videos, bull by the horn. I get very worked up. And now it's my goal to buy one on the street for less than $6,600. And I'm going to do the best I can to find one over the next couple of months. This one for sure, I fucking dropped the ball on. That Escalade ESV, no question in my mind, no doubt. I would have went a little bit harder with this thing. Now, keep in mind, it would have been after this one. So where I ended up with this would determine how far I'm going to go with this one. And again, I probably would have, if I was buying this, I would have bought it with a different account of money. I would have used personal money here for this one and kept this for myself for a little while. And then when I did sell it, I would have just put the money back into my personal account. And this Escalade would have came from my business account. And again, I don't commingle funds. I would have had my business write myself a check for what I'm into this MKZ for, just to keep it nice, and then sold it through the business. This Escalade would have went straight from the business account and stayed in the business account. Because the mindset that I have, and everyone does their own thing, is if I know I'm gonna use a car for a little bit, for an extended period of time, I don't want to lose business money. So every day that I drive that car is money that is tied up from the business. So I'd rather tie up personal money, drive the vehicle for as much time as I want, and then when I'm ready to actually say, okay, I'm done with this car, let's put it up for sale, I have the business buy it from me personally for exactly what I have into it, and now it goes up for sale as a real business car. This Escalade, guys, holy shit. $6,600. I tell you what, I would have went hard with this thing. These Escalades bring all the money in Tampa. Easily a $10,000 to $13,000 car. We would have been in this thing for something in the neighborhood of $8,000. With that being said, it's a moneymaker all day long for me in my area. You guys got to tell me what you think. It's the ESV too. So let's not forget that's the suburban body style. And it's just this car, this Escalade, I dropped the ball on. I should have bought it, and I just did not. I wasn't, like I said, I just got my times and everything else fucked up. Moving right along, trying to move along quickly for you. Mercedes was nice. We didn't look at the Mercedes. This Malibu, I think, was hit. We looked at the Taurus. It was hit. I try not to get into those types of cars too much. We looked at the Sonic. Yeah. So this is a 6-speed one, $3,000. I don't know that I would have spent that kind of money on it, being a manual transmission. Only because, I mean, yes, it's a RS, but it's still a fucking Sonic, right? I just don't know, that it warrant. I don't know. I missed this GTI. I would have looked at this thing yesterday. I have a thing for these, even though Leroy hates doing Euros. There are certain ones that he would do, and the ones that he likes to drive, this is one of them. So, someone got a great deal here. I gotta think that motor and transmission is worth some money on a Scat Pack. And again, this car, with 1,700 miles. And again, I'm assuming that the buyer is a salvage yard, that they're going to take it apart and try to sell it. This was the funny SI that was like that. I believe that the motors were swapped and all a bunch of shit like that. $2,200. Going right along. Again, a 2014, and yes, they're V6s, guys, and I get that. Keep in mind, I'm looking at cars to buy and sell. I'm not looking at cars to make YouTube videos with. You know what I mean? Like I said it in yesterday's video. The Hellcat, YouTube's favorite fucking car, second to all these, Lamborghinis and Ferraris and bullshit like that. Those are YouTubers, man. Don't get my shit and their shit confused. They're YouTubers. They buy cars for views. I buy cars to sell. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's wrong what they're doing or anything like that. It's just we do things different. We have different mindsets. Auto auction rebuilds. If you catch one of his videos from like last week or the week before, he breaks down all the cars he bought and what he sold them for, and he lost money on every single car he sold. But because he's a YouTuber and not necessarily a car sale, a used car guy, he takes the views and puts that into the cars, and they all come out ahead because he's a YouTuber. If he was a car dealer, he'd obviously be out of business. But again, YouTubers and car dealers are two totally different things. Now, moving right along, the Kia Sorento. I don't know that we looked at that one. I thought it was black the one we looked at. Yeah, this is at the 14. This one was weird. Remember, it had the taped doors, $4,000. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that was a good buy, honestly. At least not from where I'm looking at it. So this Dodge Ram, it was a stolen recovery. If at 1,400, I'm an idiot because I said, I only like the quad cabs. Had I thought it would go for that low, I probably would have spent more time looking at the engine and shit like that, but I'm a fucking idiot. And just so you know, too, these CRs, they are only, these condition reports, it's only what the dealer tells them to look at. So if I say, give me a CR on the interior because the interior is in mint condition, they'll do that. If I say, give me a CR on the outside, they'll do that. If I say, give me a CR for running and driving, they'll do that. So just because the CR is higher, they might not take into accountability that the motor's fucked up on it. So again, just stupid shit that the auctions do for us being dealers. We're scumbags, so that's what we do. There's an old saying that nurses will eat their young because nurses are so they're so, I guess, catty or whatever. Yeah, they have nothing on fucking car dealers. Let me tell you that right now. Car dealers will legitimately fuck over their kids for money. I don't know why. So, this 13 Escape, the mileage was super high. I don't know what the motor and stuff like that, but that's not bad to me. And again, this had high miles. The pictured really nice, $1,000. It is the RT, but again, I just don't know. I did not look at it. We didn't look at it, so I don't know. I did get to see this one running through, and it was funny because even they got to like $3,000 or something like that, and even the announcer was like, "Yeah, I don't blame you guys, for not bidding on it or whatever." So that was cool. Kia Rio, $1,800. Again, it's hard to say what's good if you did not do the work on it. Some of them you just know. Some of them You're like, oh, okay. Again, this Mercedes looks good because of the price, but I don't know what the motor and transmission would cost to do that car. This Altima, we didn't even look at it. This thing, I'm an idiot. because I did not look at this thing with you guys yesterday when I was watching the auction. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna chase this thing to about 1,500 because it ran and drove, or so it says. And Leroy happened to call me at the time, and he was like, hey, can you look this up for me or whatever? And I was looking it up. And when I came back, I was like, motherfucker, I was like, the car I wanted sold for $1,000. So, and when stuff like that happens, I don't get mad. I just take it as it's not meant to be. I move on, you know? I move on. So, the Titan, 1,300, but the mileage was high. This Equinox, the mileage is high. But, again, you know, when you're looking at these cars, who knows? It's 335. I don't know if it's a coupe or not. I don't know. And these, I'm just showing you guys again what they sold for. You know, 2012, 125, $900. But I think the transmission for that car is like $1,000. Now I think it's only like 400 to put in. So 900, 1,000 is 19,400. You're at 23. So you know, with that mileage, I still think it's about a $3,500 to $4,500 car. This truck, they announced no engine. So not that it's bad, it's just fucking missing. So to do a job like that, you're better off buying that thing and then going to Copart or IAAI and buying one that's totally wrecked, like a certificate of destruction, because you don't know what's missing from this one. So this way you get the harness, you get the engine, you get, you know, everything that's involved with it if you need something. And then, you know, whatever's not at that point in the game, if you're doing that, your donor vehicle, you would try to sell the interior, you would try to sell the wheels, the mirrors, you're parting it out, whatever's not destroyed, trying to recoup at least the price of the car. 2011 A4, $2,000. Again, you know, Leroy hates doing those things. Moving right along here, 2018 Escape, 6,300. You know, I think that's a good deal. These no picture ones, I don't understand why you would not have the pictures done. You know, most of us are buying these things online right now. $900 for this thing. I mean, I don't know. $800. But again, the motor is so fucking expensive for these cars. Why would you even do? Who knows? Moving right along. $4,000. Remember this thing, the Ford Focus? It had no wheels. Remember, I was like, damn, somebody even took their wheels. And, you know, I don't know. This one I was bidding on. You guys know me. I love my Yukon Denali's. I was bidding on it. I think the transmission was like $1,200. 8 hours to do it. The truck was rough to begin with. The seat was ripped. It didn't have like the backup camera and screen. It had an aftermarket Kenwood. It was rough. The paint was rough. $2,900. I think it's still a steal. I think you're going to rehab it for something in the neighborhood of $25 between the motor, transmission, paint, getting the leather seat fixed. I think they could probably get about $9,000 for it in our area. That's one hell of a deal. This one I fucked up on. Again, I wasn't paying much attention to it. I knew that I wanted it, but I also knew that I did not want it. $700. I probably should have bought it, but that would put me at $8,000. I wanted it at $5,000. I kind of made that $500 number knowing I would not get it for that number. And it's kind of my way of saying I'm still in the game, but at that point, why, you know, what are the odds? So again, moving right along. Almost coming to an end, guys. I don't even think it goes to 900. So we're already at 860. You know, I think this Volkswagen was a steal. I don't know how much the motor and stuff is, but again, you know, it's a TDI, so it's diesel, so they last forever, low miles. So these Jaguars are bringing all the money. So, you know, whoever's buying them, they're either going to wholesale them, run them right back through the same auction, clean them, run them back, or something. But they had 3 of them, remember? So, anyways, continuing on. I wish I knew some of the bodywork because I think that's a good deal. But again, what's a good deal if you don't even know? Here we go, guys. The 2013 Cadillac ATS. We are the high bidder at $3,200. just, for full disclosure, they already countered at 3,600. I'm going to stick to 32. This thing's ran enough over the last month or two that I know if I don't take it, it's probably still going to be there next week. I might jump in my car tomorrow and go out there and pop the hood, make sure that it's got the motor and transmission. Because after I bid on it, I realized that they don't show the engine. So maybe the engine's missing. I don't know. This GMC Terrain, it was weird because it ran after this, and I was watching and I was like, shit, why would I not check it out? Then I realized it's got no mileage. So I was like, okay, so it's got no power, no jump box. Quickly auto checked it, and I'll come back and auto check it, but I think last year it had like 170,000 miles on it. And I fell victim to this in the past, where it had 170, and then I bought it thinking, okay, 30,000, so it'll have like 200 or whatever. I just added 30,000 to it, 30,000 miles. And when I actually went in there and got that car, it had like 300,000 miles on it. So the dealer purposely disconnected the odometer, so this way someone would do exactly what I did. They would auto check it, see it. 15,000 miles is like the average per year. And I just doubled it to be safe, and I still got fucked anyway. So 892 is the final number, and that's the last car right there. It's if for 1,100. And again, you don't know. But here, check it out. Oh, I guess we could do it with this car. It doesn't matter if we lose this page. I'm going to auto check it, and this is what I'm talking about. So here's your auto check. Odometer rollback probably, or it could be because they just put one, so that could have set this off. Major state title brand check. I don't know if they're saying it could be mileage exempt. It could be a lot of things. So anyway, February 23rd of 2021, this thing is saying it had 48,000 miles on it. So in fact, this car probably does have odometer rollback. This was a bad example for you. So let me see if I could go back to, where was that other car that I wanted to show you? It was after that Cadillac. It was a GMC, right? Here it is. So when you auto check this bad boy, 140,000 miles a few months ago, okay? So when I was thinking about this, I was like, but it still doesn't show up. And I've been burnt by this before, because in my head right now, I'm like, okay, so it's got 140, add 30 for a year, right? Or let's just add 15 because it's half a year. I'm at 155. That seems about right. And it seems high for the miles, but let's just say 155. And I've actually did that and bought a car in the past, and the thing had like 300,000 miles on it. So it was terrible. It was terrible. But anyways, guys, this is the TRA sale. This is what everything sold, went for, if bids, whatever you guys want to say. And that's it. Like I said, hopefully one day I'll be able to go live with you guys and have you guys here doing this with me. Until that day, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know if these are helpful to anybody. I'll keep doing them because, like I said, I do this every week. As a matter of fact, I'm already looking at tomorrow's auction, CarMax. A few cars I want to pick up from there. Or a few cars I'm interested in. Let me say that. I'm not like fucking Daddy Warbucks over here. There's only so much money I do have. And that's that. Guys, as always, thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, like, dislike, I don't care. Do something. I'll talk to you later.
That's my best friend.